right, I think we're live.
Hey everybody! Welcome.
Welcome.
Yeah, we wanted to do just a very last minute live stream because, well, one, we feel like it's been a while, and two, it's been quite a journey for us. As you guys can tell, we're like not in sweaters right now. We are in Costa Rica. So we finally made it. We were supposed to be here much earlier, but as you guys may have seen on our other social channels and our other YouTube channel, we posted an update about Prince, and you know, that he didn't make it, that he, I don't know, it's a tough subject for us to talk about. We're still healing and we're still grieving from it, but you know, we shared everything on the other channel, and the love that we received from you guys was just so touching. So thank you. Thank you so much. Mm-hmm.
And it's just hard, and it meant so much that you guys, we really like the idea that the story we put forward, it honored him. It honored his story, and it honored our journey with him. And then you guys, by watching it and receiving the energy and sending so much back. Yeah. It really helped us. Yeah. It really helped us.
Well, and you know, I feel like many people can relate in the time of grief and healing. You know, as that famous, one of our favorite songs by Trevor Hall says, you can't rush your healing, right? It's like you can't just get over really hard loss like that quickly. So, you know, it'll take a lot of time and it'll take a lot of healing, but even just having the support that you guys poured your hearts out to us, it just made us feel less alone. And hearing all of your stories as well, you know, hearing a lot of people have and are going through a time of loss and grieving. So it's yeah, it was very special, and
to hear so many people connecting their story to that story and being able to relate to it.
That's what I was saying,
that was really, I don't know, it's massive. So I guess we just wanted to say thank you.
Yes.
Like really, truly, honestly, thank you for being with us through that hard time and through as we move forward from it.
Yeah. Thank you guys.
If you guys want to watch the video about Prince, if you haven't seen it yet, you can go, we'll put a link when this is done in the bottom, or you can search Mark and Juliana's YouTube channel.
As you guys know,
just search Mark and or Juliana and Mark.
Yeah, we started a personal YouTube channel for more personal videos. And so there was a video we posted that shared, everything that happened with Prince, but you know, he was sick for a year and struggling a lot, and unfortunately, his body just gave out.
And that's where you can see the video.
Yeah.
So search Juliana and Mark YouTube channel, or you can find it in the links of all our videos, and we'll put the link of this. And that's where we're going to put all kinds of stuff. We'll probably talk about other things we're going to be posting there soon, but happier things.
So now we've arrived in Costa Rica, and apart from, you know, settling in here, as you guys know, I'm like 34 weeks pregnant now. So
let's move to happier things. Do you guys want to see the belly?
It's big. Oh, there's the big belly.
Look at that. Is that all you can? Oh, that's so cute.
It's it's been the transition and the growth has been very quick, I find, especially in the last 2 months or so. It's just grown. Hi, Fab.
We're at Love Burger.
Oh yeah, if you guys don't know.
In Costa Rica.
Like our second home.
We basically have set
Fab's right here. He's the owner. You guys have...
Maybe Fab will come say hi. Want to come say hi, Fab? So this is the vegan master chef of all concepts and things, Love Burger, in Costa Rica, Nisara. You got to move in. You're out of focus back there.
I'm out of focus.
You're dark man.
Give me some of that.
Always dark.
A dark man. Fab, what do you have to say about vegan living and plant-based eateries?
Well, it's healthy, it's good for the planet, good for your soul, and you know, it's important to really pay attention to how we affect not just ourselves but everyone around us. And really messing me up seeing the delay on here.
I know, it's kind of hard to get used to, right? It's strange.
So Fab makes the best vegan food in Nosara, and so if you guys ever decide you need a little trip it's at some point when people feel comfortable to travel, or maybe you're already at that point, come out and check it out. It'll be the best food in town, the healthiest food in town too.
Right.
You know, it's hard to find like healthy stuff. There's, you know, especially in like tourist towns, there's a lot of like, you know, fried and sweets and...
Yeah, we have really good organic farmers and take care in finding all the ingredients. So.
And it's crazy that you can actually feel the difference when the food comes like from a farm, from somewhere local, than, you know, imported from a different country. Like in Canada, we obviously thrived a lot on like, you know, tropical fruits that were imported from Costa Rica,
right?
which is so funny. I'm like making bananas, you know, into my smoothie, and I'm like, oh,
How far have those bananas traveled?
Yeah, well now I'm like, they haven't traveled very far,
Not
but
here.
in Canada, it's like the Costa Rican bananas that come to your to your grocery store. So so Fab's been our rock here, helping us settle.
Always helping us settle. Always, honestly, good friends are hard to find. So when you find them, you got to hold on tight. And we appreciate Fab and his support so much through this time. It's crazy, actually.
Yeah.
And he gives us great juices.
Love you guys. Hope to see you soon.
Little love fest, eh? Little
Yeah.
cameo love fest. Oh my goodness. So, what were we talking about?
So we're talking about the pregnancy. So yes, I'm 34 weeks now, and a lot of growth and transition that's been happening for me. My body's been changing very, very quickly, and I'm sure we'll talk a little bit in more detail about that, but it's it's been interesting. But I feel like we're on the home stretch, so like 6 weeks left until
I can't even believe it.
the day. I mean, when, you know, you were like 40 weeks, you're starting to like really now expect the baby to arrive. So yeah, it's been crazy, but I've been feeling good. You know, before we left, we shot some prenatal classes at home up there on the island, and here we'll be actually shooting next week the 3rd trimester part of a prenatal program that we're working on for you guys, which won't be out until like spring, obviously. But yeah, it's been crazy.
I mean, that's a really great thing to say. We've been getting a ton of questions about prenatal classes, and so that you guys are aware, we put a trimester 1 safe calendar on Boho Beautiful official, which can be found at bohobeautiful.tv. And we wrapped and shot some prenatal trimester 2
right before,
and
kind of like close before we left,
and we'll be shooting 3
Yeah.
some next week, and then probably before Christmas
We'll be releasing a whole bunch more on the app for you guys. So for anyone out there that is pregnant, going through the same journey, we hope to offer you some classes that you can also do with me. And you know, it's been interesting because it's one thing to just teach a prenatal class to someone, but it's another thing to be going through the journey and teaching and doing the classes yourself, and you really feel like how your body feels differently at that time, like the weight transfer, and like you feel heavier, and obviously your body is, you know, I feel like I'm like retaining so much water these days too, like I feel heavier myself. So it's just interesting to move through that.
But you're handling it like a champ.
Yeah, no, I've been fine, but you know, it's obviously like body changes and things.
It's amazing to watch Juliana
yeah.
go through such drastic change with such grace. I think the only time I've seen you complain is when you couldn't get through the side door at the new place we're renting. Because she couldn't fit between the door opening and the washing machine that's crammed in there.
Yeah. Well, the belly is like hitting everything when I walk. Especially in small spaces, like I open the fridge and I like hit myself with it. It's different. You're not used to having, you know, my grandpa used to have a really big beer belly, and I always laugh. I'm like, it reminds me of my grandfather. Like, he used to have a big beer belly.
Right.
So I have my own beer belly now. So anyway, so that's kind of an update on the prenatal stuff. And obviously you guys have seen a lot of classes coming out on YouTube. There will continue to be lots of classes for you on YouTube where I don't look pregnant, and just, I know many of you might know, but we did shoot like 50 classes right during my first trimester.
Yeah, so we're still posting
So
all
there's
those.
still all these videos, so in case you're like confused, they're like, she's pregnant, but she's not pregnant in this video.
So this is the real-time video.
Yeah.
And those are the June shot videos?
Yeah, June shot videos, which are just constantly being provided for you guys. We have a class on Sunday.
Tomorrow coming out, a really good one.
Yeah.
It was on our app actually early this week. Again, so just when we speak about our app, it's Boho Beautiful Official, which is at bohobeautiful.tv, and that's where all the prenatal content's going to go this month. And we put our YouTube videos on early there usually, and tons of exclusive content. And there's a free trial for 7 days if anyone wants to check it out. You can just sign up and no commitment, no anything for 7 days, which is actually an interesting segue to it being Black Friday yesterday.
Yeah, so it's that time of the year right now where everything goes on sale, I guess.
Hear that?
That's a howler monkey.
That's a howler monkey.
He's been saying hello to us the last hour. Yeah, so we decided yesterday to launch like one of our biggest sales on the store for all the programs. We're getting a little error message there. But yeah, so everything is 40% off that you guys can find if you just go to bohobeautiful.life, use the coupon code CYBERBOHO2020.
It's the biggest sale we do all year.
Yeah.
And everything on the store.
And one of the reasons is not just to do a sale, but we also recognize that right now, coming into the holiday season, and people are thinking of like, well, what kind of gifts, you can give your loved ones, and we find there's no better gift than the gift of health and well-being, right? Like,
and not a thing.
Exactly. It's like there's so much stuff everywhere, but then there is a beautiful gift you could give someone that's just like, hey, here's a home retreat, especially right now with the state of the world where so many people are again going back into lockdown, and there's all these restrictions that we have to really take care of our minds and our bodies. And so we hope that by giving this big sale to you guys, many of you can take advantage of it and enjoy it. Buy a program for yourself or your loved one, and even if you want to start it next year, take advantage of this. But just so you guys know, because I know sometimes people have a lot of questions, the programs are different from our app. So the Boho Beautiful official app is a subscription app where we have like hundreds of classes, exclusive classes, calendars, challenges, all that good stuff.
All kinds of features on it, and it's pretty intense. And then on the other side, you have on our store, that's where the premium programs are.
Yeah, and those are like individual programs that are geared towards like a specific thing. So it's like a fitness program like Transform, or a Boho Beautiful retreat. Like I said, it's like a 7-day retreat that you can do by yourself or with a loved one in the comfort of your own home. So everything gives you a different value. So you guys can go and check it out. And the sale will be up until end of Monday.
End of Monday. But again, I think I really want to emphasize the whole buying things now in this time where the planet is at, and where everything is just so overcrowded and the environment is falling to pieces, and we're over consuming. And whether it's our store or anyone else's that you can give a gift that isn't a thing, that isn't accumulating and contributing to just like this plague of mass consumption going on, like the lineups for the Best Buy that we see at the like online for Black Friday this year, which is crazy because you can't have Thanksgiving dinner, but you can line up hundreds of people like right next to each other to buy a TV. So it doesn't make any sense to me. So what we really felt by participating in this is that we could help spread the message of giving things that help people's body and mind and don't contribute to the usual giving of gifts that's just a thing. So whether it's our store or anyone else's, I've seen tons of other people online offering kinds of programs and digital content and things that'll benefit mind and body health. And we just really want to encourage that. And so does
Coco Kitty.
Coco Kitty, making her first live internet appearance.
She's the jungle cat here. She's crazy.
She's crazy. Well, and
she hunts frogs.
And eats headphones. No.
Another actually really cool gift idea for those of you guys that are in that mode right now of like having to give gifts to your family and friends. We once received a really beautiful gift from, I think it was your aunt, or I can't remember, but it was, you can actually donate, or you can sponsor an animal, like at a sanctuary or a dog, in honor of somebody else. And so I remember it was your aunt, and she sponsored like a goat at a sanctuary.
No, it was Liz.
Oh, was it Liz?
Yeah, Liz.
It was a friend of ours, yeah.
No, it's my cousin's
wife,
partner.
Or wife, soon to be wife.
Soon to be wife.
Yeah.
Fiance now.
Yes.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And that was really special because it's like, wow, so, you know, they purchased a gift in your honor, and it's actually going and helping out an animal in need. And I know there's tons of sanctuaries, tons of rescues
Tons
out there
everywhere.
that need support right now.
And that all run sort of campaigns like that where you can adopt something on
Yeah.
someone's behalf. Locally here, we're in Nassau, Costa Rica, Cebu Animal Sanctuary,
Yeah.
which houses a ton of howler monkeys and monkeys that are local here who have been electrocuted by all of the unsafe power lines being put up.
Yeah.
They can use all the help they can get. We
Yeah.
actually ran into Vicky last night.
Yeah, she's the owner of
She's
it,
the
and
owner.
honestly, like this woman, she will not say no to any animal, whether it's a little squirrel, a howler monkey, a dog, a cat. You know what I mean? Like
And you can
she-
do adoptions through there, right?
Yeah.
I think so on their website. So
Cebu.
Cebu. So we'll put the link to that and to the video. We did a feature of them in a video.
Yeah, really, really
about
kind
last
people.
time we were here in Nassau. And you can check it out and learn a little more. Or as well, Leah from Territorial Desecration.
And actually, when we, I saw a post she posted that because of the pandemic and because of obviously the state of the world, and a lot of people can't afford to take care of their animals, and unfortunately in places like this, a lot of the times these animals are just, they end up on the streets because, you know, people can't take care of them. And so they've seen an influx of dogs coming into their sanctuary. They used to have 1,100 dogs, now they're up to 1,500 dogs.
1,500
And
dogs.
all these dogs have to be fed and looked after, and they have a huge farm, and we've done a video about them too before.
Mhm,
and
we'll
raised
post that
money
video
for them.
too.
But that's just another beautiful place that if you guys were interested, you can go and you can actually sponsor a dog, and
As a gift,
as
too.
a gift for someone else as well if you wanted to. And I think it's like even like $5 or $10 a month, but that actually feeds the dog and takes care of its vet needs.
So those are some local animal sanctuaries
Yeah.
which make great gifts
So
on
it's
this
like-
Black Friday weekend.
Yeah, you could be creative and do something good and still give the gift of love and gratitude
Mm-hmm.
to somebody. So
It's wonderful to take traditional things like that, such as Christmas and gift giving, and figure out ways to make them a little bit more conscious and a little bit more thoughtful. It's something that we've been doing since we've been together, because a lot of times actually we don't even buy each other gifts. And then if we do something, we'll just create an experience for ourselves. Like if it's a special day that most people go and spend a bunch of money, we tend to just be like, let's go climb that mountain. Or let's go on a massive hike. Or, creating a memory and giving each other the time and the space to experience something together. And that can be super valuable. I don't know. So it's a great weekend to talk about the alternative way of looking at these things, right?
yeah. And speaking of all of this, so we've been seeing a lot of questions coming from you guys about different things, and I know we wanted to really not just do a Q&A, but also answer some yoga questions.
Yeah, we titled this All Things Yoga because the first Boho frequency we did was called All Things Yoga. It went really well. We allowed you guys to ask specific questions about your yoga practice or our yoga practice or yoga in general. And it was really informative even to us to see what people were curious about and what we could share and, what experiences we've gone through that helped you guys. There on the chat here, actually, there is super chat component, and Bumgarner just asked a question, and we'll feature that because she paid for the super chat, and that's very kind of you to donate that way. Why don't we say that all the super chats for this rest of this podcast, which is going to be an hour, we're going to take that money, we're going to give it to Cebu. How about that?
That's great.
So think about, if you want to do a super chat, know that that money will tally it up in the end, and it'll go directly to Vicky at Cebu, because it's a really nice thing to do. But try to keep your questions to yoga, because we're doing All Things Yoga, right? Does that make sense?
Yeah.
But this one's not. But
It's okay.
She asked, your cookbook is sold out. When will you get more of those? I have no idea what to cook for vegan dinners. I'm so used to relying on meat for dinner.
Well, the vegan.
Let's talk about Green Friday then.
What's Green Friday?
Green Friday is today. We're part of a big vegan bundle. This is perfect for you.
Oh, yeah.
So if you go to our Instagram, in probably a couple hours when we're done this, we're part of this initiative that sort of is counter to Black Friday. It's called Green Friday. And we've donated our cookbook in digital form and a smoothie and
juices book as
smoothie
well.
and juices book, along with like 30 or 50 other vegans who have
content they can offer. So if you guys are looking for recipes, you're looking for advice, you're looking for fitness tips or anything to
Anything
do
in
with
the
like
vegan and
veganism and health, yeah, they have like this guy that puts these
He
together.
puts these, it's vegan bundles of
Yeah.
books, and so for like $50 or something, I
No,
don't know.
it's like less. It's like 97% off or something. You can get like
The whole
30,
library.
30 books.
You get all of it, all bundled together. So
We'll put a link to
we'll put a
it
link to that
after.
in here,
Yeah.
but it will be on our Instagram and on our Facebook later today. Maybe we'll put it on the community board here. And
Yeah.
but yeah, so I mean that's just some tips for anyone who has that problem, which is a very common thing, which is being so used to relying on meat and having no idea what to cook.
Yeah, and so, you know, even for us when we went vegan, like relying on other people's information and recipes was a huge help, because yeah, like when you're kind of in the kitchen, like, well, I'm so used to cooking one way, now how do I create, you know, a meal that doesn't include meat or dairy? And so getting that information from the millions of recipes that are out there, not just through books, but I mean, you can Google anything these days too. But, you know, having a reliable source like that, like these vegan books, including ours, you can use it. And help.
But the physical book, just to answer the question.
Yeah, the physical book is out of stock, and just because of the shipping and everything, we decided.
Well, and we're going to redo it.
And we're going to redo it at some point after the baby.
After the baby.
Yeah, so we just decided right now it's just the digital format. So it's still the same
It's
book.
still on it's still there. And since you donated the $5 to Cebu, Baumgartner, if you want, you could email or you could DM us on Instagram, and we'll send you a copy for free of the digital ebook. And that'll help, because what's really cool about the Happy Healthy Plant-Based Eating Guide that we put together is it's 3 parts, so it helps people enter the world of plant-based living and eating. And it's not necessarily it's just good to even if you're not planning on being vegan, but just to add more plant-based food into your world. So the first portion is all nutritional information, the second portion is all recipes, and then the third portion of the book is just sort of
like some
our personal stories and our thoughts about it all, and
the impact on the environment and the planet.
Yeah.
Everything like
So
that.
that's the book. And thank you for the donation to Cebu through the super chat. So if anyone else wants the super chat, just know the money's going directly to Cebu today. So
Let's do more questions.
yeah, let's do some yoga questions. Let's start on that.
So this is a good one. So from Karis Wellborn, what yoga positions have been off limits for you in your second and third trimester? I'm entering my third one. So that's a great question. For me, since entering the second and third trimester, even positions like flat on your back, I have been avoiding. So anytime, let's say you even do like a shavasana, placing a bolster or, you know, bolster on top of a block like this, just to give yourself an angle. Hilo.
He's digging. Our friend Hilo is
Who's a dog?
Hilo.
Kicking dust at us.
He's like, stop live streaming.
So that's the simple one, lying on your back. Of course, anything lying on your stomach, you're going to start avoiding. Same thing with deep twist. Since the second trimester, I've also have been always keeping my feet apart in any sort of standing forward folds, because now that your belly is growing, you want to create the space and you want to avoid constricting the belly, right? So always folding forward, just your feet apart. So even like chair postures, utkatasana, keeping your feet apart. So anywhere where your feet would be together, keep them apart. That's always a good trick. And with third trimester, I would say a lot of those same tips apply. Obviously, don't twist, don't go on your stomach, don't stay on your back, and avoiding any lower abdominal work. So I've been doing planks, full planks, until about now. Actually, now I've gone to doing planks on my knees. Just due to the fact that the baby's getting really heavy, and you have to listen to your body, right? But any sort of core work, so anywhere where like Pilates work, you know, when you use your legs for it, or anything that uses the lower abs, crunches, all of that should be avoided even in the first trimester. And that is because you want to avoid straining the abdominals, because that can cause separation, which is called diastasis recti. And you know, it happens to a lot of women. It's not the end of the world if it happens to you, but it just takes longer to heal from it. And so to avoid that separation of your abdominal muscles, you just want to stay away from any sort of core work. So high planks you can do if you're comfortable. I would say to maybe the end of your 3rd trimester, then go on your knees, modify. Side planks, always modifying by coming down on your knee. And the best thing for all of this is just listening to your body, you know? Like, there are definitely these things you want to avoid, but if you do a posture or you do a move and it just doesn't feel right to you, that's your body signaling that stop, you know? And that's been a huge component because, you know, especially for me, like going from having such a strong practice before and then really accepting the fact that my body's changing, my strength is changing, my weight is changing, like the weight transfer of my body, it's getting heavier, it's getting harder, and accepting that and appreciating that because your body is creating a miracle right now. It's creating life.
So good.
Yeah,
I
like
how you say that.
it is, and it's working twice as hard. Your heart is working twice as hard. Like you're producing, like, was it 50% more blood, I think, at this point. Like, so just being very mindful and taking your practice to the level that feels comfortable for you and not over pushing yourself. I hope that answered your question.
That's a great answer. That was amazing. Gregory Pierce donated $10 to Cebu through the super chat and said, would love to know a good retreat center or best place there in Costa Rica to go during Seattle's winter. So Costa Rica is a really interesting country. We've been coming here every year since we've been together, so 9 years, and I was actually coming here for a few times even before that. We love it here. Our heart is here, and that's why we're here permanently now. So, you know, but the thing about Costa Rica is everyone who comes here has a different experience, so they have different advice to give. So the best thing you can do is ask as many people as you can that are like you, because there's different reasons and different ways to enjoy Costa Rica, I think.
Yeah, but there is one thing about Costa Rica is that there are so many yoga retreats
that
you can find, and there's so many yoga centers, even here in Nosara. I mean, we're looking for like a good place to shoot the 3rd trimester right now, and so we went and checked out a couple of yoga centers here for a nice studio, and I mean, it just keeps going. It's amazing. And like Bodhi Tree is one that's like,
that's the main one here in town, Bodhi Tree, and then there's also Nexus.
There's Blue Spirit. They offer, you know, certain programs that you can check out on their website. What do you know other ones?
Fab's kicking in.
Aki retreat.
Aki. Yeah, we went there 2 days ago just to check it out, and it's beautiful. It's spelled AKHI, I think.
And of course, with the pandemic, everyone has different schedules. So I know some retreat centers are closed till February, and then they'll start up doing retreats. Some are doing things in January. So you really just have to go onto their websites and see what retreats that they offer. And then, like Mark said, like see what you're really looking for. Like if you're looking for something like super healing for a specific topic, you know, if you're dealing with loss or grief or looking to like, I don't know, like connect deeper with your masculine or feminine energy, like there is so much out there. Or if you're just looking for something a little bit more general, like.
But what's our advice? I think our advice is we love the Nicoya Peninsula. That's where we are in Costa Rica right now. So we're in Nosara, and we love, probably our favorite places are Nosara, Samara, and Santa Teresa. So those 3 locations all have wonderful yoga, and if you literally just Google yoga in those 3 names, you get a lot. But there's tons of places, not just on the Nicoya Peninsula, but all over Costa Rica. It takes a little bit of research, but I think that, you know, we're biased to this area of Costa Rica, so this is where our advice would land, I think. What do you think of that?
I think that's a great answer. Let's do, because I saw another super chat, but let's do a question that's not, just we want to be fair to everybody.
What do you want to... This is Adelaide Rocherol. After 3 years of practicing yoga, I still can't really do the split or headstand. I'd love to extend my practice. Could you do more videos including those kinds of positions?
Definitely.
Well, there's one thing to say first about that, and we talked about this on the first yoga, all things yoga, but compression and tension. So basically, all bodies are built differently, and not all bodies are meant to do the splits. Headstands, most of us can do, unless you have some kind of spine or back issue.
It's more of a trust.
But you have to be really, really careful about doing it safe. But for splits, not everyone's hips actually can do that because there's bone-on-bone pressure that can happen.
Yeah, and it really just starts with your own development, right? Like as how your bones developed when you were a child and growing up. And some people, you know, there's a really interesting test actually I remember we did at 300-hour teacher training when we were discussing all of this. Was it in India like 2 years ago? And they made us lie down on our backs, and you just kind of open up your feet like in Shavasana, and you would notice that some people's feet were very, very parallel, so their toes would like be pointing upward, and others would naturally just flop out, and they like their pinky toes would be literally on the ground. And it was just showing us how that's just a beautiful representation of how different people's bodies have developed. And apparently the bones, when they develop, they're kind of go in a spiral motion. And so certain people's bone structures are just different. And you can definitely push yourself to the max, but you have to understand that at times when you come to that compression where bone on bone happens,
you can't go any further.
You just can't without without causing yourself injury, and that's okay. And I think what's really important to remember is that as much as, you know, yoga, you want to be the best or whatever, like you have to, there's like an ego part to it where you want to,
well, that's there's been this westernization of yoga that has happened where it feels like a contest, and it feels like most things in Western culture where it's goal oriented, like I have to do this so that then I can equate to being good. Because lots of people ask us, are you guys good at yoga? And the thing we always say is, well, there's no really good at yoga, it's just do we practice often? And we do. So we practice often, but that doesn't make us good. Well, like there is no good, because where you are
no good in yoga
is exactly where you're supposed to be.
Yeah. And you know, even I've seen people ask me sometimes, like, oh, well, how did you get this flexible? It's like, for me personally, I started this journey because I was an athlete in rhythmic gymnastics, and we were pushed in different ways. And so when I entered yoga to heal my body from injuries, I entered it from a different perspective.
Well, and you were already extremely flexible.
Yeah,
because as a child
I was like stretched and pushed in different things.
Right, so her bones developed in a specific way that allowed her to be really flexible.
Yeah.
Which then makes her look really good at yoga. But to be good it's just a nonsense term, and I think that like if there's one thing we can promote through our channel, is that where you are is always good enough.
And that's exactly where you need to be. We always say that line, you are exactly where you need to be.
That's why we always say it.
Yeah, like during your practice, what you're learning about yourself, you're learning about patience, you're learning about hard work and dedication. That is the most beautiful thing you can take away from your time on the mat. It's not about getting that split position and then you're like, okay, now I've made it, or now I've done it. It's like, no, like, sure, if you can do the splits, if you get to it, that's great, but that's not the reason why you get on the mat. And I think that has to be something very important for everyone to remember, because a lot of people I find get very intimidated to begin their yoga practice because they're like, well, I can't even touch my toes. Like,
oh my God.
I can't. And I feel bad sometimes because, you know, we do like intermediate practices where I'll do more challenging postures to cater to people that are looking to expand their practice to a different level. But then I always feel bad. We're like, we hope it doesn't keep other people away from getting on their mat, because, you know, there is a level for everybody. And the most important thing is that how you feel and what you receive the value from your time on the mat, whether you're just learning to touch your toes or you're learning to go into very advanced postures.
And that's the cliche expression, which is so valuable, which is that yoga is not about touching your toes. It's about what you learn on the way down. And sometimes cliches are more valuable to be thought about than handed off as cliches, and that's one of the ones that I think is super valuable when it comes to your practice on the mat. It's about what you learn about yourself and your mind and your inner exploration and everything. It's not about touching your toes. I mean, and that's the thing. And as you go, maybe, I mean, I probably will never be able to do the splits, and I'm okay with that. I'm perfectly fine with that. I just know that when I want to advance beyond things like and add new elements to my practice, I find different ways to do it, rather than seeing somebody online do something and being like, if I don't do that, then I'm not as good as I fail.
But you don't.
So I think that's a really great lesson to talk about for yoga.
Yeah, definitely. And in regards to, you know, progressing, like even if you've been doing some, you know, yoga for 3 years and you don't feel like you're progressing, then maybe it's more just about asking yourself, how much are you dedicating to your practice? You know, if you get on the mat once a week, well, it'll take you a lot longer for your body to get stronger and to gain flexibility. versus if you get on your mat every single morning for 30 minutes or to an hour, whatever you have, of
You'd be
course.
amazed how far that takes
Yeah,
you.
like even just that small habit shift of how much time you actually put into your work can definitely help you improve. So
It's called a practice for a reason.
exactly.
'Cause
Yeah. It's like anything in life, right?
anything in
like
life.
any sport, any musical instrument that you learn, it's like you have to dedicate time to it.
And it's one of those things that the more you put in, the more it will give you.
Yeah.
It truly, truly will. And it won't give it to you in a way of success or being, medals or all the things that we're so used to in the way that like most sports and things work. It will give it to you in a much more valuable way, which is internally. So let's go through a couple more of these super chats that have come in for the donations. Jacqueline Hansel said, your sale this weekend is great, but have you ever considered offering a rental option for your downloadable programs? I would answer that by saying if we had any idea how to code and actually do website stuff, we could possibly do that. But Juliana and I are at the mercy
of a website company.
Not even that company, but we're at the mercy of our own website.
But we are working on something that the website company is going to be helping us with, and that is installment payments. So for anyone that maybe can't afford the full price, you'll be able to sign up and kind of do monthly payouts. So it's kind of like renting, but then you get to keep the program at the end as well. So we're trying to find different ways to help you guys with that.
But that's a great suggestion, and I think I'm going to put that on the list for development. There was another one that came through from Mariska Ruff. How can I bring more healing energy into my body during yoga practice? That's a really good question, Mariska. Am I saying that right? I think I am. Okay, so let's start with our yoga practice.
How can I bring more healing energy into my body?
First, I would start with the intention before you get on the mat. Juliana and I, we love sage and Palo Santo.
So using cleansing rituals, right? So like your ritual can be like using sage or Palo Santo, like Mike said, that we use. It could be lighting like an incense stick.
Or a candle, or something that just sort of really sets you into a place where, in a symbolic ritualistic action, you're ready to focus on something. And then I think when you sit on your mat, the most important thing, anytime that we're looking for that sort of extra depth, is to, before starting to stretch and do everything, is to just sit in stillness, maybe on your knees or cross-legged, and just really set that intention, really think about what it is that you need to heal, or what it is that you want to focus on, or where you're dedicating that practice today.
And that could even just be from a simple action of closing your eyes and going internally, going inward, because we spend so much of our life constantly stimulated by the external forces. And so getting on your mat for that 10, 20, 30 minutes a day is that one opportunity for you to actually shut everything else out and bring your awareness to your heart, or wherever, like Mark, you said it beautifully, like where you're looking to heal. Whether it is your heart because you're going through something really difficult in your life, or maybe it's a physical injury, or or sickness that you're trying to get over, and so bringing that energy into your intention of why you're getting on the mat and letting that intention guide you through your practice is very, very powerful. Another thing that I would really suggest is visualization. I find that anytime we were in need of that extra little bit of love and healing, at the end of your practice, whether it is in Shavasana, whether you're like just sitting on your mat with your cross-legged position, closing your eyes, always imagining a beautiful light. So to me, I always see a radiant white light, but some people maybe see purple or other colors that may come to you, and you visualize this light just like coming over your body and moving through every cell of your body, and you're seeing it with your eyes closed. And then you can also guide this light to that area of your body that you feel you need healing, whether it is your heart or whether that is an injury or your body. I think that's a beautiful process to do.
And I think that's important. So we started by saying how to begin, and I think how to end is also another wonderful way. And that kind of visualization is wonderful. Yoga, in the traditional sense, is actually the practice of asanas, which is the stretches, are only a part of yoga to get you prepared for meditation. And that's a really unknown fact, because all we really are exposed to these days is just yoga studios where you run through an hour of asanas. But why I bring that up, I think, is because that sort of highlights the value of meditation at the end of your practice, which is a perfect time for what Juliana was saying, which is visualization, or reaffirming the intention of the however long you'd been on the mat that long, or just setting out and visualizing what the rest of your day might be like. There's a lot that can go on and can be set internally in just taking an extra 10 minutes at the end of your practice to just sit and breathe in stillness. And what I really love to do is I take a note at the beginning of how I'm feeling, and then at the end of practice come back to that note and see how things have changed. And that's when it highlights the value of your practice, because all of a sudden it becomes very apparent what you accomplished during that time and how valuable it actually is, just by taking a little mental note and remembering how I felt when I sat on the mat, and then comparing that to how you feel now.
Yeah.
And then saying, well, how do I want to feel for the rest of the day? Or if it's at the end of the day, when I wake up tomorrow. And just, it's all about self-awareness and putting a little bit more conscious energy into your emotional state. It can be a world of difference for just emotional healing in general, or just really being the best you can be.
That's beautifully said. Let's do a couple more questions here. I like this question here from Miriam Lee. You had 2 questions, so I'm so happy you love our videos. Thank you. She says, I've reached this point where I feel my body needs a little bit more intensity. Would you recommend doing more of your workouts in one setting? I've been doing 3 or 4 of your workouts per day, or would you put out some workouts that require more strength? I'd answer this question in 2 ways. Definitely, if you're using YouTube videos or shorter videos on the app, combining them one after the other, if you have the time that allows you, would be amazing. So whether that is you do, yoga workout, a Pilates class, and then like a gentle yoga class to stretch it out to be an hour of your day, that would be very beneficial. But also, if you are looking to go further, I feel like our programs that we've created were done with that specific idea in mind. So let's say Boho Beautiful Transform, for example, it's a little bit more fitness based, but it definitely pushes you to that next level, and it kind of takes you through a journey to gain more strength. Which will then obviously translate to everything else that you're doing. But if you're looking for that extra challenge, just embarking in a challenge like that would be one of the best things you can do. Or even, Boho Beautiful Retreat, like we did a yoga retreat component, but there's 2 classes per day, and
you can do it you could do 2 classes over one day and double it down to 14 days. But that's actually a really great example, because retreat was built with the idea in mind of progression. And I remember when we designed the classes, it was about repeating certain poses throughout the 7 days, so that every couple of days you're kind of reflecting back to the beginning or to a couple of days before and seeing how it's progressed. And it was about starting at a lower level, and slowly by the end of it being, having walked through a journey of different asanas, to take your practice to much more flexibility, mobility, and just self-awareness.
Yeah.
So retreat and transform are 2 wonderful ways to do it.
That we always recommend. But again, if a program isn't really something you want right now, then just go through a library and stack the workouts together. But I would always recommend find a more fitness based, so yoga workout, or even our HIIT yoga classes that we've done that are a little bit more intense, and then just do them and then pair them with the other ones to stretch yourself into a full hour, and then you'll see your body will be quite fatigued and exhausted, but it'll feel like a really good a workout and a practice on your mat at the same time.
That's great. There's someone asking about more meditations, Gracie Johnson and Ines Guerra. She says, I meditate every day with you. That's amazing. Could you add more meditations?
Definitely.
Grace Johnson said, would you be open to more meditations? They help me so much. Meditation is such a huge part of our yoga practice, and I think we do need to put more effort into releasing more, for sure. And we will be, I think. Now that we're it's been a tornado of a few months, the last couple of months, just in getting here to Costa Rica. with Prince and the roller coaster that was. There's been so much with the pregnancy, with just so much change, so much growth, so much challenge, that we've been really just trying our best to keep up with just putting out a video a week.
Yeah, it's been more of a treadmill for us than anything. We
Yeah.
just want to make sure that we're still able to provide you guys with content and not just stop. But now I find that we have a little bit more time before another big chapter comes in January, which we're prepping ahead of time, because I know that'll be a time where we're really unsure how our life's going to be with an infant. First time
It's
baby.
going to be insane.
It's going to be insane. There is a high chance I'll probably be like, hey guys, I'm off for the month, because I'm going to be just completely in a different world. But outside of that, we're working on something very special for you guys for January. We won't be releasing a new program as we always have, because of course of everything that's happened in our lives, but we've created something.
We'll talk about that.
Yeah, so we did a full 14 days of yoga that we're going to be releasing January 1st. And it's going to be on YouTube and on the app. So the app is going to be a little bit more in depth, like we're going to have a little bit more things provided there. But even for those of you guys that just want to do it,
Yeah, we want to make it
not
accessible
subscribe.
for everybody.
Yeah. So you could do it on YouTube or through our app.
And it's going to have one yoga video and one meditation for 14 days. So
every single day, and it's a new class every day,
and a new meditation every day.
And it's going to really focus on a different intention and helping you start the new year in a very, very beautiful way.
And this is the first time we're talking about it.
It is, yeah. We're just this month we're about to settle in and start actually working on it, so it's ready for January. So even though we'll be going through a very big personal change, and I'm going to be literally from January 1st, because the baby's due January 15th. So during that time, I'm like, the baby's going to come at any moment. But you guys at least will have classes to follow, and you'll still feel like we're with you, even though at that point physically I'm going to be in a different place in my mind.
Yeah, and it's actually really cool, because you could choose just to do the yoga videos, or you could choose just to do all 14 meditations.
Yeah, so we hope you enjoy it. We'll share more information about it, but we just kind of wanted to throw that out there for you guys, that there's going to be stuff coming your way.
Oh, so Heather Landry says, is the baby a boy or girl?
We're actually keeping it a surprise. We don't know.
We don't know. But we are shooting a birth plan video later today.
And we're going to post it on our secondary channel. So for those of you guys that are interested in learning about the birth plan we've decided to do, I'm giving birth in Costa Rica, as you know. Then we'll share that.
I laugh because it's like, for those of you that are interested in hearing about leaving Canada in the middle of a pandemic to come to Costa Rica and relocate ourselves a month and a half before the baby is due.
And then give birth.
And the choices we've made throughout that and why. Check out our second channel. Because it seems crazy, but honestly, it's the most sane thing we've ever done. Yeah. I really believe that. Yeah. So. That's great, eh? So what else, guys? Are there more questions coming through?
We'll start wrapping up in a bit soon.
Yeah, we've got about 12 minutes left, it looks like.
Yeah. Well, thank you guys so much for your sweet words for motherhood and our new chapter. I have waves when I'm nervous, because I think it's going to be the one time I'm going to be just completely thrown into something I've never done before. But at the same time, I think it's going to be one of the most beautiful and learning, challenging experience of our lives.
Oh, it's going to be wonderful.
Yeah, to bring a child into this world is very, very special. And it's funny, we've been doing it, I'm like feeling the baby's like kicking. It's like it's getting a little constrained. There's not a lot of space anymore left in this belly right here, so it's like pushing away. Anyways,
my hands. This is from Grinskatze. My hamstrings are really stiff. Is it possible they are not going to stretch any further?
No.
It's hard to say.
It's definitely possible that you can definitely gain more flexibility in your hamstrings. It's just more about patience and time. We always recommend yin yoga as one of the best yoga practices you can do to gain flexibility, because it gives you the opportunity to get into lower body postures that really focus on the hips and the hamstrings, and stay in these postures for at least 3 to 4 or even 5 minutes. And that allows your body to kind of relax into it, and then the myofascia and the connective tissue to start to release, which will then make you feel like you're getting stretchier and gaining more flexibility. So you can always improve that and just make it part of your practice. I think it'll be great.
Is that for us?
Oh my God, Fab.
Oh,
Can
wow.
I just show you this, guys?
Yeah, show them that. That's amazing.
So this is a vegan cheesecake
It looks amazing on the monitor.
with that dragon fruit on top. So Fab makes these in-house,
They're so good.
and they're incredible.
And it's like 4 or 5 ingredients for an entire vegan cheesecake.
And it's made out of cashews. So the cheesy part is...
The cheesy part is cashew, so it should be a vegan cashew cake. Can I have some?
Yeah,
before you put that away?
but it's cheesecake. You guys might like that. Okay, let's do maybe 2 more questions. How is
Oh,
it?
it's so good. You want some?
No, okay, for now.
There you go.
I'm okay.
Come on.
I don't want to. Okay. I'm just trying to read through the questions here.
That's good.
From Luca,
Rafis.
are you planning to make a postpartum yoga videos as well? Yes, definitely. That's actually, there's going to be not only postpartum videos on YouTube and things like that as I start to get myself back into my pre-birth, pre-pregnancy body, but also as part of the prenatal Boho Beautiful baby, I like to call it, program that we've been working on. Postpartum is going to be like the last chapter of it. So like we've divided it into every trimester, and then the 4th trimester will be slowly getting yourself back into your body again and finding strength and everything that you need. So yes, it'll be interesting. It'll be interesting because I find I don't know what it's gonna feel like, you know? I feel like I've gone through so many things like injuries before where you understand it's all about patience and going slow, but it's like it's a whole new thing of having my stomach have been stretched to this point where obviously I haven't done anything to keep the core as it was before it's stretched out. So it's going to be a lot of like starting from the beginning and gaining that strength again, which I think is important and I hope can help many other moms out there, but also people that are not pregnant or just gave birth, and people that maybe are starting from the beginning for other reasons, for other injuries.
Yeah, from other injuries or just starting.
Or just starting.
Yeah.
Because then it's like, it'll be more like a beginner, slow.
Yeah, it's like a begin again program.
Yeah.
It's really cool.
Yeah.
It's really, it'll be really, really valuable, I think. I saw something, it just keeps sliding. That's so funny. So Eva Falaga would love to see videos, even super old ones, included on the app because I noticed some are missing. And I think that's, I just wanted to highlight that because we have every Boho Beautiful video ever shot. And there's a conduit to that. It's all on the app. But we have some videos that we posted to YouTube that was before the real
Boho Beautiful
creation of Boho Beautiful.
Because we started it as just a different kind of channel, different name at that point too, and then slowly we were called to grow as people, and kind of that's how Boho Beautiful was born. And so when we moved everything to the app, we started
from the beginning of Boho Beautiful, and it was really important to us because the app is Boho Beautiful official, and we really want it to be a reflection of the journey we've walked through, and that we continue to walk through, and to grow with us as we grow. So we recognize it's missing a small handful of meditations and some very old fitness classes.
Very, very old.
And unfortunately, we're just not going to do it. We're not going to post them there. We want to keep really true to the Boho Beautiful official side.
And we want to keep bringing new content as well. So if there is like an old video that you guys are just cannot live without and really want it,
it's a great idea.
Let us know, because then we'll just recreate it for you, you know, and I can do it again and do it better and with a little and so you could still have your favorite videos but just redone. So we have no problem doing it, but we just want to stay true to the brand at this point.
Any other yoga questions, guys? That's beautiful. Brooke Brodak, this is cool. I'm 4 months pregnant. I'm excited to have you as my yoga inspiration right now. I feel so lucky to be pregnant now to continue my yoga journey with you even.
That's beautiful.
That's so...
Congratulations. Yeah, that's amazing. 4 months pregnant. It's been such a beautiful journey for me.
And for me.
And for you too.
It's been crazy.
Yeah, just it's so much to learn about the body. So much to learn about us as women too. Like I still am in awe to know that there's a little being, a human being inside of my belly right now, moving around, and we created it.
It's so crazy.
I don't know. It's beautiful. So
before it happened, I don't think we understood the miracle of it all.
No.
I think you sort of see people that are having kids, and you see every kid and every person who's had a mom, and it's just kind of like this thing that's sort of accepted into your consciousness. And then I think now that we've started through this journey for the last 7 months, 7.5?
7.5, yeah.
It's really brought the magic to us.
Yeah.
And to understand it a little bit more, and to know that what we understand now is nothing in comparison to what we'll understand in another month and a half. Right?
Yeah.
Oh, you're petting Coco Kitty.
I am. And reading your guys' comments as I do that. All right, you guys. So do one more and then close this off?
It's almost time, yeah.
It's almost been an hour. We try to stick to an hour just to not take too much of your guys' time either.
Coco Kitty is having the best lounge session with
you guys can't see, but it's the little jungle cat here. This kitten.
Look at this Coco Kitty.
She's so funny. She just cuddles up next to you. She runs this place.
She totally runs Love Burger. Okay, sorry. What else do we have?
Well, I can see the last question here. Evika Januskova. Are you going to settle down in Costa Rica? Where do you plan to grow up your child in the future? Do you think you will continue to travel all the time?
Well, that's a really good question. Let's start with, we are planning on talking about a lot of that on the second channel.
Yeah, we try to stick to more yoga stuff here, more personal stuff on the channel, but just briefly, in regards to traveling, because that does affect the channel here, obviously, as we all know, the world is changing, you guys. Like, things are not going to be the same as they were a year ago due to, I mean, we don't need to talk about it. We all are aware of what's going on with the pandemic. So the idea of travel, or the idea of even how we used to travel, isn't really going to be the same anymore for us.
We have no idea what it's going to end up to be. And I think that's just to speak to the uncertainty going on these days. I think that everyone right now seems to be, not everyone, but the media and the mass population, and there's just this general consciousness desperate for an answer towards how are things going to shake down, when are things going to go back to quote-unquote normal, all of this like really like fear-driven questioning about what the end result's going to be. And I think something that Juliana and I have really adopted through this entire time is not searching for that answer, and not trying to find an answer that we lean on to say this is what's going on, because we don't know what's going on.
I don't think anybody knows what's going on.
Nobody knows what's going on.
Honestly, like you read the things that are out there. Excuse me.
And they all contradict each other.
Yeah,
And there's so many different narratives trying to sell us an answer to the question of what's going on, and they all conflict.
So I think in regards to our life, I think we just feel very blessed and very lucky to be in Costa Rica right now. Yes, to raise our child here, but also to be in a place where we can continue to bring you guys beautiful content that is in the same energy as Boho Beautiful. Obviously, you've seen we've done a lot of studio type of classes, but we wish to bring that energy of nature and Mother Earth through the videos that we create for you guys. And being in a place like this gives us that opportunity to continue to do that and just live here and obviously not travel or have to be on the road a lot. And so I think in this moment right now, in this part of our life, in the nearest future, this is where we're going to be. We're not going to be traveling anywhere, really.
This is home. And this is where we want to raise our child.
Yeah, and so we'll probably just be going here in Canada, because obviously we have family and friends in Canada we're going to see. So we'll just be going back and forth, and we'll see what the world unfolds. But there's definitely, to us, we're not going to be traveling.
And we're not counting on anything except just trying to live the best that we can in very uncertain times. And I think that's a strong message that I think, if there's anything we can share that we think might help people through this time, it's to stop trying to figure it out and surrender to the uncertainty, because if you surrender to what you can control, it's how you feel, and it's how you conduct yourself on a day-to-day basis, and it's what you focus your energy on. And we found when we were in Canada, we were focusing our energy on all these crazy news headlines and all these crazy statistics and all this stuff. We were going nuts.
And there was just so much fear that we were feeling that was being pushed upon us. Not to say that the pandemic isn't here too, you know what I mean? It's everywhere. It's all over the world. It's just, I don't know, it's maybe easier for us to disconnect from the craziness.
And to focus on ourselves and our child and our life and all of you and our, Boho Beautiful.
Yeah.
And to realize that we don't control how this is going to shake down. It's going to shake down one way or the other. And when it does, we hope to be in better shape, not just physically, but just better people, like energies, like aura, than we were before it began.
I think that's a valuable lesson in all of that, for no matter really where you are in the world right now, there's going to come a moment when you feel that fear narrative affecting you mentally to a point where you're just like, these news headlines just popping at us everywhere. Like, you can't turn on television without them putting fear into our minds.
Or open your phone.
Yeah, anything. And I think when you get to that point, and I think everyone's going to get to that point when you're just like, you know what? Like, this isn't serving me anymore. This isn't helping me live my life right now in this moment where I am the best way possible. And I think that's something really important to remember. And if that happens to you, turn it all off. Put on something happy, or get on your mat, or go play with your dog or an animal. Go into nature, whatever you can. Or if you live with a loved one and you can see them, like, spend time with your loved ones, and just find ways that you can shift that energy and put it into the positive, because the negativity, it's not only going to affect our mental state, but it's eventually going to affect us physically, because everything is connected. And the best thing we can do right now for our immune systems, for our health, is to stay positive, stay healthy, and just keep thinking about raising our vibration.
I love it. So, I think we should do our next live stream just on that.
On the pandemic?
Yeah, well, because I think
how to cope with the pandemic.
Coping. I think that, like, coping with everything going on, when everything is seeming to push you in one direction and push all our energies in one direction, I think it's so valuable to realize that momentum that they're pushing you with, you can harness it and use it for good for yourself, which is take it as an opportunity to turn inward and to, work on your own vitality rather than letting them suck it away from you.
Yeah, you gotta be careful, you guys, all of us too. Like, we gotta just be very careful of our energies right now and not let our energies be sucked away by everything that's around us,
But that's a fantastic way to wrap it up.
Yeah.
If you guys like that little portion, maybe we will do the next episode on it.
Yeah, if you guys, I know the world is hurting right now. I know a lot of people are hurting with so much, again, like we mentioned earlier, lockdowns and just restrictions, all these things are happening. And if you guys do feel like you would need a little help, like, we're here to help you. We can do a full live stream and just share ways that we can all stay positive and raise our vibrations, maybe do a meditation together, whatever we can do, let us know, because we're blessed to be able to give as much as we can right now. So.
And the more that we all connect on these kinds of ideas, the more that the energy produced by them will grow.
Yeah, and just remember, last thing I want to say, nobody is alone. Even if you feel like you're going through something and you feel alone wherever you are, like, everyone, all of us are in this together in a way. We're going through this together, and we can lean on each other. Even if we're not in the same space physically together, we can lean on each other's energy and help each other and raise each other up. I think that's always important to remember.
And thank you guys very much for all of these wonderful comments, all of your energy during this little session here, for being with us, for checking out the other channel, for the Prince video, everything about Prince. You guys have helped us so much through the last few weeks.
Yeah, through our healing journey right now that's continuing. So thank you. It means the world to us, this community and everything that this has become.
It's our everything.
It's our everything. So thank you from the bottom of our hearts. And, we hope some of these things, some of the yoga questions brought some value to some of you guys.
Anything to wrap up? I think that's pretty much it. The Black Friday sale is on. Biggest sale of the year.
Yeah, just to remind you guys, if you are interested in any of our programs, take advantage of the sale. It's until Monday night. So right now 40% off everything on our bohobeautiful.life store, so go check that out. You can try a free trial of our Boho Beautiful official app if you're into that as well. You know, there's
Which is at bohobeautiful.tv.
yeah, tons of stuff for you guys to choose from, so just hope you can find whatever suits you and brings you the most value right now in your life.
Yeah, and look out for a new video tomorrow on the YouTube channel.
It's
and
going to be more of a yoga workout kind of power flow, so a little bit more fiery.
And hopefully the new birth plan video
on the second channel,
Juliana and Mark channel.
Yeah, where we'll share our whole story of what we're planning for the birth of this little being in this little belly here.
Amazing.
Send you guys love and light. Thank you
light,
so
guys.
much for everything. We'll see you soon.